Hello everyone, welcome to Jumbo IS. So today we will cover the day 6 of geography MCQs and the today's topics are tropical cyclone, temperate cyclone and all the other factors which are affecting the pressure cells and air masses over any region of the earth. Okay, so we have already shared the notes with you and I also hope that you already have studied those notes because if you have studied then these MCQs will be very easy for you guys. Okay, so let's start with the MCQ number 1. So first of all, consider the following statements regarding ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. Even if this abbreviation is not given, you also have understanding that this is Intertropical Convergence Zone. So number 1, it is a high pressure belt formed due to intense solar heating at the equator. So first of all, let us study that what is an ITCZ. If this is the earth surface, this is its equator, this is 30° north and this is 30° south. Okay, what is happening at equator? Trade winds are coming from this subtropical high pressure belt and trade winds are also coming from this southern hemisphere subtropical high pressure belt. But as we know that equator has 22 degrees Celsius temperature in summers, in winters, during daytime and nighttime. All the seasons are basically that much amount of temperature is there. So if we talk about the average. So equator is a kind of that area where 12-hour day and 12-hour night phenomena is occurring, and because of that it is totally heated up by the presence of sun, and because of the presence of sun all the air molecules have gone to the upper atmosphere, because we know if surface is warmed enough then all the air particles, dust particles, water vapors will be again warmed up and they'll become light, they'll expand and ultimately move to the upper atmosphere, and the area at the surface will be of low pressure because all the dust particles have gone to the upper atmosphere. So this area is of low pressure, and that is why we say that if we take sun is at the equator, then equator must be the ITCZ. It is intertropical convergence zone where two trade winds are converging with each other. But it is not always so because sun is never at the equator. Sun is shifting from tropic of Cancer to tropic of Capricorn and vice versa. And with the movement of sun, this ITCZ also gets shifted. Okay, so if we take sun at the equator, then this is your ITCZ, and whenever sun is shifting upward or downward, this ITCZ will shift again upward or downward, and again this will be the area where both the trade winds are converging, coming from northern hemisphere and coming from southern hemisphere both. Okay, so this is not the high pressure belt, this is the low pressure belt. Due to intense solar heating at the equator, that statement is right, that portion of the statement is right, but this is not the high pressure belt. So that is why statement number 1 is wrong. It is characterized by the convergence of trade winds from both the hemispheres. Yes, the name itself says that it is the convergence of trade winds which are coming from both the hemispheres. And third is its position remains fixed at the geographical equator throughout the year. No, it keeps on shifting. It may go northward, it may go downward because the sun is shifting. So that statement is also wrong, that its position remain fixed at the geographical equator throughout the year. Its position can get changed, and during monsoon season it is basically present on Indian subcontinent at the central India level. So that's that much distance it can travel, up to 23.5 degree north it can travel. Okay, so statement 1 was also wrong, 3 is also wrong. How many of the statements are correct? Then answer will be your only one. Option A will be your answer. So next is with reference to doldrums. Doldrums are basically those areas where very small amount of wind is present. Basically very less wind or kind of no wind. Calm winds are flowing in that area. So consider the following statements. Number 1, it is the zone of stagnation. Yes, due to predominance of vertical air movement over horizontal winds. Doldrums are those areas which are basically present 5 degree north and 5 degrees south. This area is known as doldrums because here, because of the sun heating, as we know that equator will always have 12-hour day and 12-hour night phenomena. So this equator is kind of heated up, and because of this heating all this area is also getting heated up from 5 degree north to 5 degree south. Okay, and because of this heating, then all the air particles, dust particle are moving upward in the upper atmosphere, and below there will be the creation of low pressure. So it is basically the movement of vertical air, and if the low pressure is present here, then all the wind should come from all the directions to fill this vacuum of low pressure. But as the winds are coming to this area, these winds again get heated up because of the solar heating, and they will again try to rise vertically and not coming towards the horizontal direction. And that is why these areas are generally known as doldrums, the zone of stagnation, where vertical air movement is more and horizontal movement is there to fill the low pressure vacuum, but the temperature is too high that winds are coming towards this area but ultimately get heated up and try to go vertically above. So that is why the statement number 1 is right. These regions are characterized by extremely dry conditions and clear sky. We know that wherever vertical movement of the air is present, there will be the condensation, there will be cloud formation, and there will be rainfall. And the convectional rainfall is because of this vertical movement of the air. So that is why this statement number 2 is wrong. Next is historically, sailing ships avoided this region due to the risk of becoming becalmed. Yes, today the boats are of engine, but in previous time there was no engine. The boats were only dependent on the wind direction, and if any region which has no wind, then boats cannot pass through that region, and that is why doldrums are those areas which are avoided by the boats or other sailors. Okay, so that statement number 3 is also right. So first and third are right, then answer will be your option C. Generally, doldrums and ITCZ is used interchangeably, but both are different. ITCZ can shift upward and downward depending upon the movement of sun, but the doldrum areas are kind of remain between 5 degree north to 5 degree south, where vertical movement of the air is present. Okay, but when the sun is at equator, then doldrums and ITCZ are basically at the convergence. They are basically present in the same location. Okay, so option C will be your answer. Next is consider the following statements regarding the horse latitudes. Horse latitudes are very important because they are the latitudes which are known for the deaths of different horses which were brought for the trade purposes from Arabic countries to Indian subcontinent. Okay, and why it was so? Because these latitude are basically at 30 degree north and 30 degree south, where subtropical high pressure belt is there. We know that this subtropical high pressure belt is mechanically induced and not thermally induced, because 30 degree north and 30 degree south are basically are those temperature which are kind of higher in temperature, so the area should be of low pressure, but this is high pressure because we have discussed that this is your equator at the sun. Because of the presence of sun, all the air particles move to the upper direction in the upper atmosphere, and from that it start moving towards the pole upper atmosphere. But in between, Coriolis force came into existence, and ultimately this air goes from west to east, because pressure gradient force and your Coriolis force are basically getting countered by each other. Okay, and because of that it is basically moving west to east direction in upper atmosphere over 30 degree north or 30 degree south, and sometimes some amount of the air will be thrown back to the surface, and these areas 30 degree north are known for the receiving of these air from the above, and half of the air goes to the poles area and half of the air goes to the equator area, completing its headless cell. Okay, so whenever we know that the area having the convergence of vertical movement of the air, and at the surface there is the divergence of air, then that area is known as for high pressure. And if we observe any area that from there vertical movement of air is in the upward direction, and at the surface the winds are converging with each other, then that area will be of low pressure. During high pressure, winds diverges. At low pressure, winds converges. Okay, so that is why low pressure area is characterized with the presence of clouds, because here is the vertical movement of air in the upward direction. Okay, so yes, they are located at approximately 60° north and south latitude. Then answer is no. At 60° there is subpolar low pressure belt, and these are not horse latitudes. So these are 30° north, 30° south, the high pressure belt, and these high pressure belts are there because wind have been diverging from this area and there is the presence of less or calm wind. Okay, so second is they are regions of descending cool air creating stable high pressure zones. Yes, high pressure zones are considered to be the anticyclonic in nature, which cannot create any thunderstorms, cumulonimbus clouds. So the temperature remains calm and sunny. Okay, so that is why the statement number 2 is right. The weather in these zones is typically characterized by clear skies and dry conditions. Yes, the high pressure area at the surface is characterized by the clear sky, but the low pressure at the surface is characterized by the presence of clouds and thunderstorms, etc. So statement 2 and 3 are right. How many of the above statements are correct? Then answer will be your B, only 2. Statement number 1 is wrong. Next is the shifting of pressure belts has significant climatic consequences. Yes, the pressure belt shifts. In this context, consider the following statement. We know that if this is equator, this is 30° subtropical high pressure, this is subpolar low pressure 60° north, this is subtropical high pressure at the southern hemisphere. If the sun is here, then this is 0°, 30°, 60°, and again 30° south. But when sun starts shifting, if sun is moving to this direction in the northern hemisphere, then all the equatorial low pressure belt present at the equator will move again northward with the sun. So it is not now at the 0° latitude, but it will be at 10° north. Similarly, subtropical high pressure belt will be at 40° north, and subpolar low pressure belt will be at 70° north, and polar high pressure will be at 90° only. Okay, so yes, with the movement of sun, the all the pressure belt shifts, and this STHP at 30° south will also come to the northward direction at 20° south, and similarly SPLP at 50° south, and PHP will remain at 90° only. Okay, so in July, pressure belt shifts slightly north of their annual average locations because in July sun starts to shift from equator to the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so if it is in the June direction, it is in the Tropic of Cancer, and during July it is again in the northern hemisphere. So all the belts are again shifting towards the northern hemisphere. Okay, starting from March, then April, then May, then June, then July, then August. Ultimately these months are basically responsible for the shifting of pressure belt in the northward direction according to their annual average locations. So statement number 1 is right. The amount of shift is pronounced in the southern hemisphere due to the predominance of water. No, the difference in the presence of water and land is the ultimate factor which is responsible for the shifting of pressure belts. Generally, we have discussed that land has a very low specific heat, that in summers it can get warmed up very easily, and in winters it can cool down very rapidly. And because of that reasons, water has very high specific heat. It is basically moderate in temperature during summers and in winters both. In winters the temperature is slightly higher, and in summers the temperature is slightly lower, so it is kind of moderating the summer and winter season. So in southern hemisphere more predominance of water is there, so the temperature variation is not that too much. And if temperature variation is not that too much, if the sun is present at that latitude or above that latitude, it kind of does not matter. It matters, but it matters more in the northern hemisphere because the land is there more. Okay, so that is why amount of shift is not pronounced in southern hemisphere. This statement is wrong. The Mediterranean climate is a direct result of these seasonal shifts. Whenever the pressure belt shifts, the one climatic type which is Mediterranean in nature is very important to remember, that this climate is there because of the shifting of pressure belts. Okay, so what happens is this is 30° north and this is your 40° north. This is 10 degree north. Generally, what should be the case? Trade winds are moving from 30 degree north to 10 degree north. Generally, that should be the case. And if it is summer, then this 30 degree north subtropical high pressure belt should be at 40 degree high pressure belt, 40 degree north latitude. So it should be here. So trade wind in summers are moving from this direction to this direction, 40 degree north to 10 degree north. Generally, it is in the summers. So if we talk about summer, then in this 30 to 40 degree north or transition zone, the trade winds are blowing here. Okay, but if we take the case of winters, in winters, the sun has moved to the southern hemisphere. So this 30 degree north, this 40 degree north, and this is your 10 degree north, and this is your 10 degree south. Okay, so the belt has shifted again 10 degree. So equator belt is basically at your 10 degree south because the sun has shifted to the southern hemisphere. And subtropical high pressure belt is at your 20 degree north, and trade winds are blowing from 20 degree north to 10 degree south. Okay, and the areas 20 to 40 degree north, there will be the presence of westerlies. So in winters, this area which is 30 to 40 degree at transition, in winters there will be the presence of westerlies, and this area in summers it will experience trade winds. So if the area we're talking about Mediterranean Sea, all this is Mediterranean Sea, and around that these are the presence of different countries. So, and this is your Atlantic Ocean, and this is your whole Eurasian continent. During summers, the trade winds are there. So trade winds are moving from land to these areas, which is not bringing any moisture. So there is less moisture. So trade winds are there, but there will be no rainfall because moisture is not there. So in summers, there will be no rainfall. But in winters, the winds are coming from Mediterranean Sea and ultimately from the Atlantic Ocean, and they are carrying moisture with them. And because of the presence of moisture, there will be more rainfall in winters than summers. So this type of climate is very famous because the pressure belts shift in northern and southern hemisphere during summer and winter both. Okay, so that is why this statement number 3 is your right statement. Okay, so next is, so what is the answer? So first is your right statement and third is right statement. So answer will be your 1 and 3 only. Okay, so next is regarding the Mediterranean type of climate, consider the following statements. During winters, these regions come under the influence of westerlies causing rainfall. Yes, because winds are coming from which direction? From Atlantic Ocean, from Mediterranean Sea, bringing moisture and doing rainfall. Statement number 1 is right. During summers, dry trade winds blow offshore, leading to dry conditions. Yes, because trade winds are moving from land to land only. So there is no moisture. So there is no rainfall. So statement number 2 is also wrong. Is also right. Okay. This climate is generally experienced between 10 to 20 degree latitude in both the hemispheres. No, it is at the transition between 30 to 45 degree north and south both. Okay, so all the countries adjoining Mediterranean Sea, California, the south, the north, the southwestern of Chile, then we have New Zealand, then we have South Africa. All these areas are experiencing this type of climate. All the countries which are between 30 to 40 degree north or south latitude, and at the areas where in summers there is trade winds and in winters there is westerlies, those are experiencing this type of climate. So statement number 1 and 2 are right. So how many of the above statements are correct? Then answer will be your B, only 2. Next is